Ice. It is one of the most fundamental and fascinating elements of our planet. Found in various forms from the solid ice caps at the poles to the frozen rivers and lakes in temperate regions, ice is a crucial component of Earth's ecosystem. It covers vast stretches of our planet, creating breathtaking landscapes that are both beautiful and vital to our survival. From the towering glaciers of Greenland to the expansive frozen plains of Antarctica, these icy regions are more than just picturesque scenes. They are integral to the health of our planet. These icy landscapes are not just beautiful, they play a crucial role in regulating Earth's climate. The reflective surfaces of glaciers and ice sheets help to bounce sunlight back into space, a process that is essential for maintaining the planet's temperature balance. They act like giant mirrors, reflecting sunlight back into space and keeping our planet cool. This albedo effect is a natural climate control mechanism that has been in place for millions of years. However, the ice is melting at an alarming rate, and the consequences are dire. As global temperatures rise due to human activities, the rate of ice melt accelerates, leading to a cascade of environmental impacts. The melting of Earth's ice has captured global attention as a stark symbol of climate change. The sight of icebergs breaking apart and ice caps shrinking is a visual representation of the urgent need for action. It is a complex issue with far-reaching implications for our planet and future generations. The melting ice affects not only the immediate environment but also has a ripple effect on global weather patterns, sea levels, and ecosystems. This essay will delve into the consequences of melting ice, exploring its impact on sea levels, global climate, wildlife, and ecosystems. Rising sea levels threaten coastal communities while diminishing ice habitats endanger species that rely on these cold environments for survival. We will examine the historical data that underscores the urgency of this issue and explore potential solutions to mitigate its effects. Scientists have been studying ice cores to understand past climate conditions and predict future trends. The aim is to provide a clear and concise understanding of this pressing global challenge. By highlighting the efforts of environmental activists and community initiatives, we can see the collective action being taken to combat climate change. Ultimately, we must recognize that the future of our planet hinges on our collective action to address climate change and preserve these vital icy reserves. The preservation of ice is not just about maintaining beautiful landscapes, it is about ensuring the stability and health of our global environment for generations to come. One of the most immediate consequences of melting ice is rising sea levels. As glaciers and ice sheets melt, they release massive amounts of water into the oceans, causing them to rise. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change estimates that sea levels could rise by up to several feet by the end of this century. This rise in sea level will have a devastating impact on coastal communities around the world. Low-lying areas, including islands and coastal cities, are particularly vulnerable. Major cities like Miami, New York, and Shanghai are all at risk of being submerged. Millions of people could be displaced from their homes. If all the ice on Earth melted, the world map as we know it would be redrawn, the coastlines of continents would be drastically altered, entire islands would vanish beneath the waves. This would have a profound impact on human civilization. The economic and social consequences of such widespread coastal flooding would be catastrophic. Infrastructure, including roads, bridges, and power plants, would be destroyed. Agricultural land would be lost, leading to food shortages. Melting ice also has a significant impact on global climate. The rapid melting of icebergs and glaciers is not just a distant phenomenon, it has far-reaching consequences for our planet. As these massive ice structures break apart, they contribute to rising sea levels, which threaten coastal communities and ecosystems. The loss of ice also means the loss of habitats for species that depend on cold environments, such as polar bears and seals. Ice reflects sunlight back into space, helping to regulate Earth's temperature. This reflective property, known as albedo, is crucial in maintaining the planet's energy balance. When ice and snow cover large areas, they act like a mirror, bouncing sunlight away and keeping the Earth cooler. However, as the ice melts, this natural cooling mechanism is diminished. As ice melts, it exposes darker surfaces, such as water and land, which absorb more heat. This absorption accelerates the warming process, creating a cycle that is difficult to break. Thawing permafrost also releases trapped greenhouse gases like methane, further exacerbating global warming. This leads to a positive feedback loop, where melting ice causes further warming, which in turn melts more ice. This cycle is a significant driver of climate change, making it a critical issue that needs immediate attention. The warming Arctic landscape is a clear indicator of this ongoing process. This warming effect is already being felt around the world. From the Arctic to the equator, no region is immune to the impacts of climate change. The thawing Arctic regions are just one example of how interconnected our global climate system is. We are experiencing more extreme weather events, such as heat waves, which are becoming more frequent and intense. Cities around the world are recording unprecedented high temperatures, leading to health crises and increased energy demands, droughts, and floods. These extreme weather events are not just isolated incidents, they are part of a larger pattern of climate instability. Severe droughts are causing water shortages and affecting agriculture, while heavy floods are displacing communities and damaging infrastructure. The melting of ice sheets is also disrupting ocean currents, which play a vital role in distributing heat around the planet. These currents are essential for maintaining the climate balance, and their disruption could have far-reaching effects on weather patterns and marine ecosystems. This disruption could lead to even more unpredictable and extreme weather patterns. Stormy seas and turbulent weather systems are becoming more common, making it increasingly difficult to predict and prepare for natural disasters. The urgency to address these issues has never been greater, as the stability of our climate hangs in the balance. Section 5. Wildlife in Peril. Melting ice is having a devastating impact on wildlife, particularly in polar regions. Polar bears, for example, rely on sea ice for hunting seals. As sea ice shrinks, polar bears are forced to spend more time on land, where they are less likely to find food. This has led to a decline in polar bear populations. Other Arctic animals such as walruses, seals, and seabirds are also affected. These animals rely on sea ice for breeding, resting, and finding food. As the ice melts, they are losing their habitat and facing an uncertain future. Section 6. Fragile ecosystems. Melting ice is also having a significant impact on ecosystems around the world. The Arctic and Antarctic are home to unique and fragile ecosystems that are adapted to cold temperatures and icy conditions. As these regions warm, these ecosystems are changing rapidly. For example, the melting of permafrost, which is permanently frozen ground, is releasing methane, a potent greenhouse gas, into the atmosphere. This is further accelerating climate change. Section 7. Lessons from the past. We can look to the past to understand the potential consequences of melting ice. The Earth has experienced periods of warming and cooling throughout its history. During the last interglacial period, about 125,000 years ago, global temperatures were warmer than they are today. Sea levels were also significantly higher, by about 16 to 32 feet. This suggests that if we continue to emit greenhouse gases at the current rate, we could experience similar levels of sea level rise in the coming centuries. This would have catastrophic consequences for coastal communities around the world. Section 8. A call to action. The melting of Earth's ice is a clear and present danger. The rapid loss of ice in the polar regions is not just a distant problem, it has immediate and far-reaching consequences for all of us. Rising sea levels threaten coastal communities, and the loss of ice disrupts weather patterns, leading to more extreme weather events. It is a global problem that requires a global solution. No single country can tackle this issue alone. It demands international cooperation and collective action. We must come together, transcending borders and political differences, to address the climate crisis. We need to act now to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and slow down the rate of climate change. This means making significant changes in our daily lives and advocating for systemic changes. From individual actions like reducing waste and conserving energy to larger movements like supporting climate-friendly policies, every effort counts. There are a number of things we can do to address this issue. Community cleanups can help reduce pollution, while the installation of solar panels and wind turbines can provide clean, renewable energy. These actions not only help the environment but also create jobs and stimulate the economy. We need to transition away from fossil fuels and towards renewable sources of energy, such as solar power. Solar energy is abundant and sustainable, and advancements in technology have made it more accessible and affordable than ever before. We need to transition away from fossil fuels and towards renewable sources of energy, such as wind power. Wind energy is another clean and sustainable option, that can significantly reduce our carbon footprint. Investing in wind farms can provide a reliable source of energy for generations to come. We need to invest in energy efficiency and reduce our reliance on cars. Energy-efficient buildings can drastically cut down on energy consumption, and promoting public transportation and biking can reduce traffic congestion and lower emissions. We can also support policies that promote sustainable practices. By advocating for laws and regulations that encourage renewable energy, conservation, and sustainability, we can create a framework for a healthier planet. Every voice matters, and together, we can make a difference. Section 9, Conclusion: Our Shared Future. The melting of Earth's ice is a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of our planet and the profound impact of human activities. It is a global crisis that demands immediate attention and collective action. The consequences of inaction are too dire to ignore. We must act now to reduce our carbon footprint, embrace sustainable practices, and protect our planet for future generations. The time for complacency is over. The future of our planet and the well-being of all living things depends on our choices today. Let us choose wisely.